A boy is desperately looking for a place to hide when he starts messing up with a scarecrow. In fact, this boy is running away from two men. The boy continues to take off the scarecrow's clothes. As Andre and Felipe run in his direction, the boy begins to dress as the scarecrow, desperate, asking for God's help. The men are getting closer. As they finally arrive in front of the scarecrow, they wonder where the boy went. They question how a boy can run so much faster than them. The boy remains in the same position but scared. Felipe becomes furious and starts attacking the nearby tree branches out of rage. Boy moves a little out of fear. While Felipe vents his anger, Andre senses the subtle movement of the scarecrow. Andre tells Felipe that the scarecrow is moving. Felipe finds it absurd, but Andre insists, saying he's sure he saw the scarecrow move. The boy is tense. Felipe says Andre must be crazy, but he insists that the scarecrow moved. The boy becomes even more tense. Felipe argues that it must have been the wind that made the scarecrow move, but Andre says the boy dressed as a scarecrow. Felipe then asks if Andre believes the boy is there, and Andre confirms the idea. When Felipe puts his hands on the scarecrow's mask, a woman starts screaming and scares Felipe. Marcy approaches, telling the two men not to touch the scarecrow. She asks what they're doing there, and who allowed them onto their private property. Felipe responds aggressively, telling the woman to be quiet. He says they know it's private property, but that she has no right to shout at them. Marcy speaks louder, saying it's her property and she can talk however she wants. Felipe says that's fine, but he says they are looking for something that belongs to them. Marcy asks if they asked for permission to enter, or if they went to her house to ask for permission. Andre turns to Felipe and says it's better for them to leave, that this woman is getting angrier, but Felipe tells him to relax. The woman confronts Felipe, wanting to know what they're hiding. Felipe says it's none of her business and that she shouldn't interfere. He asks for permission to continue searching, but Marcy refuses. Felipe now says he's trying to be civilized and only wants to find what belongs to him. Marcy remains firm after everything they've done and tells them to leave now or she call the police. Philip starts to worrying about the woman and says there's no need for that they'll leave. Then he turns to Andre and they leave together. The woman watches them leave and says they should never come back. Marcy turns to the scarecrow, lamenting what they did to it. She starts to remove the mask when the boy surprises her. Marcy then asks what he's doing there. Andre and Felipe watch from afar the little interaction between her and the scarecrow, and find it strange. Andre and Felipe exchange glances. Felipe shouts back to the woman, who is surprised. He asks her what she found in the scarecrow. The woman says she found nothing, and says she's just cleaning up the mess they made. Felipe accuses the woman of lying, saying he heard her talking to the scarecrow. Marcy says she can talk to whomever she wants on her property. She says she's cleaning up the mess they made. Andre says he'll investigate the scarecrow, but Felipe holds him back, saying she call the police. They then leave. Marcy turns to the boy, saying they're gone, and asks why he did that to her scarecrow, ruining it, which protected her plantation. The boy removes the mask and apologizes to the woman. He says he had no other choice but to hide. The woman becomes emotional, asking why he had to do that to her property, that she has suffered so much to maintain it. The boy politely says he will fix everything he did. He just asks for time for the men to go away. She says it's okay that anyway, she's in a situation where only God can help, not a scarecrow. Her harvest has only brought her sorrow. The boy says God has to come first, but she doesn't need to worry about the mess he made. Marcy says he doesn't need to worry about that. Then she fixes the scarecrow. She only questions what the men want with him. They seem very bad. The boy agrees but says he will deal with them later. He just needs the woman's silence to be able to hide. Meanwhile, Felipe and Andre talk nearby. Andre wants to go back there, but Felipe says the woman won't allow it, that she will call the police. Andre says he needs to get his hands on the boy, and thinks he's in the scarecrow. Felipe says they're in a dead end. Andre says they'll have to go back there one way or another, and get the boy, and tells them to go now. Marcy tells the boy that this is a very difficult situation, and that the men will come back. Then she tells the boy that it's best for them to go to our house, and there she will call his parents. She tells him not to worry about the scarecrow either. Andre and Felipe approach where Marcy and the boy were. The boy panics and Marcy starts fixing the boy's clothes. Felipe and Andre approach. Marcy questions why they've returned. She says she called the police. The boy watches everything worriedly. Felipe says he's sure the scarecrow is the boy. Marcy says he's crazy, that the scarecrow is just a stick and that they should leave. Felipe says he and Andre believe the scarecrow is indeed the boy, and well, since he has no choice. Felipe then hits Marcy on the head with a stick and she faints. Andre says she got what she deserved. Felipe tells Andre that now they'll find out about the boy. They both approach the scarecrow and start messing with it. When they take off its clothes, they realize it's just a doll. Felipe becomes enraged and Andre despairs. Andre asks how this can be possible. He saw the scarecrow move. He's sure of it. How did it suddenly turn into a real scarecrow? Andre starts to wonder if he's crazy. Felipe asks what they'll do, and Andre despairs, saying he has no idea how to proceed. Felipe also despairs, saying he trusts Andre and that he wouldn't lie either. He says they need to get out of there, that the forest must be cursed. They both start running. Further ahead, they come across the inexplicable. A figure of the boy in white robes orders them to stop. Andre and Felipe are scared by the appearance and recognize the boy. Felipe now understands how the boy disappeared so mysteriously. The angel says they're in trouble with God. Andre despairs, asking him to ask God for their forgiveness. Everything they did was out of necessity. The angel says there's always an alternative, but they chose evil. Philip understands and says it's true, but asks for forgiveness and asks to let them go. The angel asks if they'll no longer be wicked if they're forgiven. Andre replies yes. He pleads for forgiveness and looks to the sky, asking God for mercy. The angel then speaks Marcy's name and orders her to rise. Miraculously, the farmer gets up. Philip can't believe his eyes and tells Andre to watch the miracle. He then turns to the angel and thanks for the forgiveness. The angel says they have to thank God. He's giving them a second chance and now they have to serve him. They both agree, say goodbye, and run away before God changes his mind. Marcy gets up and asks if the boy is a monster who wanted her to suffer. The angel says God knows she's a great servant and that he knows she's in a difficult situation. In the past, the angel watched her all the time in her harvest while she cried out to God for help. She always talked to God, asking for support to pay her bills with her harvest, which wasn't yielding good results. The angel tells her he knows all about her struggle, and that's why God sent him there, to protect her and bless her. The woman says God was listening to her then and thanks very much. The angel says he brought this bag to help her away from evil men. He tells her to take it and orders her never to stray from God. Then he disappears. The woman is surprised by the angel and starts looking in the bag. Then she is surprised by its contents. Inside the bag there is a lot of money. She can't believe it and thanks God very much. With that money, she will be able to take care of her harvest.